Hello folks, so today we're gonna talk about this super dope, ever awesome, and if you ask me, it's the holy grail of entrepreneurship, and it's 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Let me tell you a fact that whosoever who has ever read this book, if you ask that person that what do you think of that book, then I'm 100% sure that nobody's gonna deny that this book was any less interesting or boring thing, because that's how this book is, that's how insightful this is. And I personally have a very beautiful story associated with this book. It's because this was one of the books which initiated the process, which completely changed the thought process of mine, like which completely changed my thought process, to be 100 times better. And today, whatever I think, whatever way I think, I associate it a lot to this book, because this is how the new phase of my life began. And you won't believe, it's incredible how the book which can change your life and one time meal at a decent restaurant costs the same. That's the power of books for you folks. Okay, so moving on. It's a bit about Peter Thiel. The writer of this book is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is actually one of the founders of PayPal, and he's often referred to as the Don of PayPal Mafia. So he was the last standing CEO of PayPal before it was sold to eBay, and then he went on to found his data mining company called Palantir. And to add credibility, like if this book is not enough, to add credibility to his work, he was one of the people who would foresee the future of companies like Facebook, Netflix, SpaceX, and then he invested in these companies when these companies were struggling to have a footprint. And we all know today what extent these companies have reached. So coming back to the book, 0 to 1. So why 0 to 1? Like, first of all, what kind of people should read this book? So everybody should read this book, but people who are into the tech world, who are into the tech industry, they really need to read this book for necessity. I mean, it's a must read for them. It's not a choice. They have to read this if they want to progress in their career at a much rapid pace than they have been doing it. And especially if you are recently into the industry, then you've got to read this. So 0 to 1. What's the meaning of 0 to 1? So the cycle of a business can be distributed into two segments on the upper layer. It's 0 to 1 or 1 to infinity. So 0 to 1 is the phase where it's a lot about the idea of the business, like how genuine, how original the idea is, and how practical the idea is. And 1 to infinity is the scaling of the idea. So this book focuses more about the 0 to 1 phase of a business. And since ideas itself are of two kinds, one is the disruptive innovation, when your idea is the disruption and it's fairly new in the market and has its own market share. The other case would be to the problem you are solving, you have a solution and market itself has an existing solution to that problem, but you claim that your solution is gonna be much better than the existing solution. That's another kind of fight. So, but this book focuses on 0 to 1 of the business and the disruptive idea. It convinces you to how to analyze your disruptive idea, how to come up with a disruptive idea, and why to come up with a disruptive idea. And it tells you certain parameters, like how to measure the originality and practicality of your idea. So this was about the name of the book. So there isn't much about the summary of the book. The narrative of books is fairly simple. This is a hardly 200 plus pages of book, and it could be read in one day. But the thing about this book is, although it can be read, you can read and understand 100% of this book. But what's important about this book is the dimensions, the hundreds of dimensions it opens in your mind to explore about. So that's the reason why this book is so popular, according to me, of course. So what's in this book? So the narrative of the book is fairly simple, and it's all about various companies which succeeded or failed why did they fail, why did they succeed, analyzing their idea from Peter Thiel's point of view. And it also has mention about different events in the history like the dot-com crash, how companies fared through the dot-com crash and the 2008 crisis, how it affected different segments of the market. So it's all about that. And one thing about probably the reason being this book is so interesting to read is because it's full of counterintuitive insights about different things. For example, if I tell you a monopoly, first of all, monopoly is basically a huge company which a huge market capital, like, huge market share, and then usually what happens is these big companies engulf smaller companies, eat up the smaller companies to sort of kill competition and to sort of improve, like use their tech for their own gain. So you would generally everybody would feel that monopolies are something, monopolies are basically bad, मतलब negative aspects है उसको हम देखेंगे. But this book tells you that monopolies are the ones who are actually doing the real innovation, and they are actually the ones who are pushing the tech world forward. Yeah, disruptive ideas do come up and do change stuff at their level, but it's the monopolies which have the enough fire, enough power, enough capital to explore numerous different ideas, and and they have a fairly successful rate because if a monopoly engulfs a smaller company, then it pushes enough capital into the company to accelerate the growth of the smaller company into it once it comes under the monopoly. So, but which the kind of growth the smaller company independently would not be able to achieve in the given span of time. So this is one thing, how he favored monopoly over small businesses, how you should crave to be a monopoly, and it's a lot about these kind of incidents and these kinds of insights. Although this book, as I mentioned, added a lot into me, but there will still be a moments which I have for you which I can tell you that these are the moments which I relate to. There are numerous moments, but these would be the few points I have mentioned. I have noted. So each moment happens only once. So this is a very cliche line you would find everywhere, but boy, why did I mention this line? Because a lot of us would think कि यार इसने तो 2 ही क्वेश्चन किए out of 3, मैंने तो 3 on 3 के why was I not selected? So it's a one moment thing, man. You don't need to regret that moment. You just need to move on and find your moment, because you never know what happens next and what can happen next. Our next point is gonna cover that thing. So each moment happens once. The strategy which succeeded for one company at that point of space and time, even if you try the similar thing on the very next day, you might fail drastically and you might be disaster then, because that's how things work and you need to accept this. The next point would be, there is no formula to be an entrepreneur. So this is actually very true. First of all, entrepreneur is like, if you go to the definition of entrepreneur, it's completely trash. But whatever feel, and on the term itself, entrepreneur, I mean, at certain point you would feel that the word entrepreneur, the term entrepreneurship has lost its credibility because so many people are using for it themselves. But what I feel about entrepreneurship is like, it's the creativity, it's the innovative thinking you can bring into your everything you do. So I'd like to recall one moment during my internship. So what happened, we had 10 weeks to do a project. We were a team of 5 interns, all interns, 5 interns, and then we had to deliver the project. And after the duration of the internship, everybody was so surprised that we delivered so much of stuff, such huge amount of work, without compromising even a single bit of the quality of the work. So everybody was so surprised about that. But what people knew that we delivered a huge amount of work with awesome quality to it. But what they did not know is that we also put a hell lot of innovation, hell lot of creativity from our end, which was not expected from us, to the project itself, to improve the project, because we had the ownership of the project. So that's sort of, that's called the, vibe of entrepreneurship. It's not expected from you, but you got to do this. In my interviews, the someone a person asked ki, yes, you did a lot of work, but what was one thing which you did differently and which was not expected from you? Because that's what tells you about the person. So let's forget about the interview. Like, why did I do that? Because I know I got to do this because it was me. I know if this can be done much better in this way, then it's my responsibility to do that in that way. So that was one thing. And brilliant thinking, next point would be brilliant thinking is rare, but courage is even shorter supply than genius. This is this is the continuation of the second point, that brilliant, you can be brilliant, but entrepreneurship is a lot about, that's what this book pushes you to do. It pushes you to, pursue stuff in life, like which can, which separates you out. When you are like at some point of time and later in your life, it doesn't matter how much money you have made, you look back and see like what's the one thing I've done that people are gonna remember me for. It's not, they might not even remember you for your name, but they will remember your work, and that's what should make you proud. Another lesson. And there was one chapter in this book where Peter Thiel says ki in every interview he asks the question, what's one rare truth which you believe in and the rest of the folks do not believe in? So if you try to answer this, I'd request you to answer this question to yourself right now. But if you try to answer this question, you can come up with very naive answers like, I believe in God, a lot of people do. Like, ऐसा भी बहुत ही गंदा example है, but stuff like that. But when you think about this question in a deeper perspective, like, what's the one truth which you agree on, but the rest of the people don't? So when you think deeper into this, and from a technical perspective, from a business standpoint of view, so you would understand that this is how new ideas come up. This is how new companies are formed. So because Steve Jobs imagined iPhone without the keypad, like without the physical keypad. So that's how, because nobody else could, and he could. So that's the reason nobody believed that keypad wala. In fact, the iPhone launch भी होगा था, तब भी people would trash the iPhone, से कि यार ये तो कब कोई यूज़ करने वाला नहीं, इसमें तो कीपैड ही नहीं है, इन स्क्रीन कीपैड नहीं है, करेगा कोई कुछ. But Steve Jobs foresaw that, and he was the disruption. iPhone was a disruption. And coming back to the point, each moment happens only once. I would say कि always wait for a moment. It's gonna happen. The one example which comes to my mind is Zerodha. Zerodha is actually an Indian investment company, investment brokerage. I don't know what it is, what to call it, but Zerodha is a company you should look out for it on the internet. So Zerodha was founded in 2009, somewhere in 2009, and until 2019, it just worked. The folks at the Zerodha, like Nitin Kamath and other people, they just continued to improving Zerodha and to make it a much better platform. These were 10 years. And suddenly in 2019, when the pandemic hit the country, the number of users they had achieved in the previous 10 years, they achieved in like next 1 or 1.5 years. They doubled the number. So that was their moment. 2019 was their moment. Like, it was their moment to capitalize on the. Had they felt as if यार ये तो चल नहीं रहा है, हमें we should quit, we should not put more effort into this project. But they did put in their effort into the project, and suddenly 29 was their moment जहाँ पे उन्होंने fire कर दिया, और now they are the best, they are number one investment firm in India when we talk about investment platform in India, when we talk about number of users as a criteria. And one last thing, that your idea, whatever it is, it has to solve a problem. You see, this is very simple, but this is not how things operate, especially when we are among our college folks. So what do we think when we make a new project? What do we think? Like, we try to get machine learning डाल दो, AI ले आओ, WebD ले आओ, cloud ले आओ, and then when we have all these things stuck together, then we think, okay, what to build. But this is exactly not how it's done. The way it's done, it's inside out. You need to first of all think what you are going to build and why are you going to build it. You need to convince yourself that why are you going to build it, what kind of problem is solving, and then you need to work upon that. What tech stack you need to use. So this is the idea. It has to solve a problem. It doesn't matter if it's using AI or ML or not. Nobody cares. If it's solving a problem which has a very poor solution in the existing market, then it's automatically going to be absorbed and you can pitch that idea to the investor. And वो ये आपसे investor आपसे कभी ये नहीं पूछेगा कि what tech stack are you using? No, all they want कि तुमने एक अच्छा idea बनाया and doesn't matter तुमने क्या tech stack use किया, अगर तुमने उसको अच्छा बना लिया है then that's a moment. That's a moment of glory. So guys, this was my take on 0 to 1, and I would still say it's one of the best books for people who want to unleash their brain into this world and create new stuff. They don't need to find their own business. They can stay in their existing organization and do stuff at a level where everybody is going to appreciate them. They are going to be the you don't need to crave for an organization that you need to get into this organization or company. No, it should work the other way around. The company should crave for you. That's how fabulous people are built. So this was my take on 0 to 1. I hope you liked it. Yeah, that's it. Bye.